Okay, so let's look at the features of a sine graph and then actually drawing it ourselves. So if I look at my A value, this is where I get my amplitude. And it's always the absolute value. So when they ask me for my amplitude, I want the absolute value. It means I just want the positive value of A. My A will give me my vertical stretch and my vertical compression. It will also give me my vertical reflection in my x-axis if there is a negative. The amplitude is the max minus the min divided by 2. My h value in trigonometry is known as my phase shift, and this is the movement left and right. My k value will give me my midline. It is the vertical translation up and down. I can calculate my k value because it's the max plus the min divided by 2. The other thing that's important to note is the period, the length of time it takes for one cycle to occur. So the period for sine x and cos x is 360 degrees. The period for the graph tan x is only 180 degrees. So let's look at graphing a sine function. So I'm going to do my basic sine graph. Y is equal to sine x. So I have 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. Those were key values occur, ones that aren't decimals. My sine graph starts at 0, goes up to 1, back to 0, minus 1, and back down to 0. And now I want to look, well, what are the transformations? So what is affecting x? So if I look, I have my x, and my minus 60 affects it. So what I say is, well, this would normally now be plus 60. And now I want to look at y, and what is affecting y? So 3 and plus 1 are affecting y. They don't change, they don't lie. So I'm going to multiply it by 3. It's a vertical stretch of 3 and a vertical translation up 1. So I'm going to do 0 plus 60 is 60. 90 plus 60 is 150. 180 plus 60 is 240. And you'll see that they're all going up by the same amount. We have that will give me 330, and this will give me 390. Now I'm going to take these values in y, multiply them by 3, and add 1. So all the zeros will become 1. This will be 4, and this will be minus 2. So this will give me one cycle of the graph, and then I can pattern to get the others. The important thing to note too is all our spaces will be 30 degrees. If we have to graph by 45, 45s are 1.5 spaces, is a 45 degrees. So if I look, I'm going to go here, 30, 60, 60 and 1. And then I need to go to 150 and 4. 240 and 1, back down to 1. And if I look, it's 1, 2, 3 spaces between each value. 2, 3, sorry, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that will also help me. There's 3 30s at minus 2. And we have, there we go, back at 1. Okay, so they need to be curvy, not pointy. Do the best you can. You may have to erase. And there's one cycle. So now I know it's 3 spaces between each point. So now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Where would I be going next? I would be going up. And then 1, 2, 3, back down to where the midline is moved to. 1, 2, 3, back down to here. So I'm going to finish this part of the cycle, another cycle. Where are we going? Probably up a little bit. Now I'm going to go over and finish this part. 1, 2, 3. Where would I be going? I'm going to go down. 1, 2, 3. I'm going back up. So I'm going to draw this in. And then I would be headed in this direction. Okay, let's look at one more. Okay, again, I'm going to start with the basic sine graph. So 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. My sine graph starts at 0, 1, 0, minus 1, 0. Now I'm looking what's happening, what's going to affect x. So that means that plus 50 is going to affect it, but brackets lie. So I'm going to subtract 150. And then I want to look at, well, what's going to affect y. So that would be the 1/2 and the minus 2. They do not lie. So it means I'm going to compress by 2. So divide by 2 and then subtract 2. So I'm going to do 0 minus 150 is minus 150. 90 minus 150 minus 60. Then this will be 30, 120, and 210. Now I'm going to divide by 2 and then subtract 2. So all my zeros become minus 2. This will become minus 1.5. And this will become minus 2.5. So let's graph those. So minus 150 is all the way out here. And I want to be down at minus 2. Minus 60 is here. I want to be down at 1.5. Positive 30 is here. I'm back down to minus 2. And if I look, again, I'm 1, 2, 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3 spaces. So I can just keep counting 3. I'm down at minus 2.5. So that gives me one cycle of the graph. This will continue out this way. And now I'm going to add in the rest of the cycles. And then I would be headed down that way.